Hey there, YouTube. It's Petey Two Finger, and I'm not even going to tell you how I cut myself or burned my thumb on a connector. If you ever burn yourself on where there's a lot of callousing, you'll know what I mean. So these two are conspiring against me. I'm not going to talk about how it's been 100 degrees here in the Midwest, and we're cranking our air conditioning units and our dehumidifiers, and it's still like 85 degrees in the apartment. I'm not going to begin to tell you that this is like peak funky smell in the apartment season, even if we try our best to not have any food waste in the garbages or be smart about everything. There's still like everything is just breaking down from the humidity and the heat. And so I'm not going to complain about how I go to make a quick update YouTube video, tell you guys what's going on, and my Verilux, my lamp, the bulb blows up, which has happened like maybe twice since I started YouTubing. I've lost three of these bulbs. They're $30 for the bulb because it's for a sun lamp for seasonal defective order lamp. They figured let's charge $30 then. That's fair, right? It might help you with your seasonal affective disorder. $30 for a $2 bulb. So I've got this one, which is way too bright. It's like, hey guys, I'm coming at you from the surface of Venus. I'm not going to be using that right here. I do have two more Verilux units. There's a short one and then the regular size. And I think I have a bulb too. I've got all that stuff here, but I have to wait for my partner to come home to dig that out for me. So we are working towards going out to do a remote. We're going to be going to our normal location. We're going to be shooting video, and I'm going to be editing that and bringing it to you guys. And I'm real excited to say this is the guitar instrumental set that we've been working on for a year. So we can play these songs fairly well. You should know most of them. I think if you're a music person, you should know most of them. And if you're older, your chances of knowing these songs go up because some of them go back to 1948, up to 74 is the most recent recording was, I believe it was 1974. So this is something I put together as a single piece. It starts out, there's a beginning, middle, and end. There's really no break. The songs run into each other with sound effect beds, with time allotment specifically allowed for guitar changes. So some songs, there's a little extra time because I gotta switch guitars. And I'm playing three guitars in the set. I'm playing a semi-hollow body Strat with vintage El Nico style pickups. I'm playing a regular Stratocaster. It's actually a Squire with the regular Fender tremolo system, using that. And then I'm playing a more modern Ibanez guitar that is a Super Strat that has humbucker pickups. So each guitar in the set, it's not like I'm just like, hey, look at me. There's a specific reason why I'm using these guitars, and it has to do with what the guy who played the original song used. Like, was it recorded with a Gretsch hollow body? Well, if it was, I'm going to use my semi-hollow body guitar because I don't have a Gretsch. So I'm going like spitballing this, and the sounds, the patches that I've worked up on the multi-effector, the amp simulator, speaker sim, are all dialed in as well. I've really made an effort to try to ape the sounds of the original recordings. As far as the backing tracks go, I went and I found this online service, and I did a video about this promoting it. It's like $3 a month you pay for this service, and you get unlimited. if you give it a WAV file or an MP3, they give you options of how you can split it up and receive the files back. So you can feed it whatever recording you have, and it will use AI to separate the stems, as we call that now. Yo, dog, I need those stems. Okay? I would say individual tracks. I would not ever say stems, because that's something else. That, to me, a stem is a sub. It's a like if you take all of the tracks, all of the microphone channels that go to the individual tracks for a drum kit, that would be a stem. If it's subbed, um, if it's a bunch of tracks combined, that would be a stem. But I wouldn't call like the bass track, yo, dog, I need those stems from you, dog. I would never, never. It's a track. It's a bass track. So you feed the audio into it and you say, well, I want everything except the bass track and the guitar track, because I play guitar and my wife plays bass. So the long and short of it is, some of these recordings are so old that when you feed them into this computer and you tell them that, like, I just want the drums and whatever else, the computer can't handle it. And that what you get back is a jumbled, heavily pixelated, like cell phone type audio, like really bad mixture of different tracks warbling in and out. Other things, it like cut and dry. It will do it. And the long and the short of it is, we've got some original recordings, and I don't want to say what they are. I don't want to say, oh, we're playing Telstar and we've removed everything except we removed the electric guitars and the basses from it, and we're playing everything else. I don't want to give anything away, but this is the process that I did when putting together the backing tracks. Now, there were some songs you'll be like, how come you guys aren't doing Wipeout? Well, we're not doing Wipeout because the bass player had a hard time with it. There are certain things that my bass player can do. Everything else she can't do, and it's that's part of my reality. My thing is dealing with that, teaching, having her learn new material can be challenging for me. My patience. Specifically on this, there were enough tutorials out there where she could just watch somebody else do it, and she did great. She did, like, I can't believe, if you pay attention, you'll see how good she did. You'll see what I'm saying. This is like a huge leap forward. So I'm super excited. I have 2 pages of notes that I wrote about this material. It's like 2.5. So that video will come, because I do want to talk about, like, we've had people over here to see it, and at the end of after we finish playing, I'll pick those papers up and I'll read these information about these songs because there's a lot of coincidences and tie-ins that connect these songs that I was unaware of when I picked them for this set. So we did this, the design for this. Hi, Kita. Hi, buddy. I think I've got us some treats. Hope mommy hid them. Daddy's you're gonna have to just hang out for a minute until Daddy's done. Can you wait and I'll get you a treat in a minute, okay? We put this together like in case we need to perform in front of people that we could do this, and it would be like it's not aggressive music, it's not every song, like there's a lot of clean guitars, there's not like distortion like I'm Jimi Hendrix, woo, you know, doing all that. So it's not as threatening music, it's not as aggressive. Like we went and played it for my mother-in-law who's 80, and she loved it. Like she really loved it. She was beaming and she was proud of her daughter, which like I was like mission accomplished because she's a tough cookie. So we've played this for some people. The reaction has been positive, and we're going to be going out Saturday. We're going to bring our little PA system, our guitars, and our camera, as well as this audio recording device. And this does 24-bit, 48 KHZ 24-bit, or you can do 1644 CD quality if you want, but I've got it set at 2448, which is new. I didn't have it set that high. There's a one of these CF compact memory cards. It's not compact, it's huge, but this is an M Audio Microtrack 2496, and I've got it set on the maximum setting. Now, the internal battery, we got this for like 20 bucks shipped. And the internal battery was gone. So I put this battery, I attached it to this case. And it's got this internal battery. Then there's a voltage regulator and a battery pack. So when this internal battery gives up the ghost, I can plug this cable in and hit this switch, and it will begin to recharge the internal battery pack from this set of 4 of these that's inside here. These are the Tesla batteries. What's inside of a Tesla electric car is this, a bunch of these. So the audio that we pick up on the microphone, like I use a really nice microphone. I went through a few to try to settle on something that sounds the best. And I will blend a little bit of that audio that's the camcorder mic picking up the ambience inside of the shelter where we play. We play in a pavilion. So the sound is an amalgam. You're hearing like 2/3 of it is this, and about 1/3 of the mic sound, somewhere around there, you know. Some videos, it depends on a lot of things. And I EQ and I compress and I limit. I put a limiter on the end of it. And oftentimes, like if let's say the bass player makes a mistake, what I'll do is I will, when we're playing live, we try to not react to each other's mistakes. Like if I make a mistake, I go like, holy shit, like you can see I'm like, whoa, and then I'll like go back to playing normal, and then I'm like So what I'll do, I'll have the camera and the editing, I'll pan over to my wife for that whole part. And you might see her look over at me like, you asshole. And then what I do is I take that chunk of audio and I delete that chunk where the mistake is, and I go to another part of the song that's the set where we're playing the same thing, and I'll take that audio and I'll blend it in for that one spot. So I can, oh, Kita, I'll get you a treat. He doesn't want to hear me running my mouth. So I do have the ability to fix mistakes, and I do. Usually there's always like one thing, in some of these videos, but that's pretty much the process that's going to be going on. We've already gotten everything. We're rehearsed. We can play the set, and now we're getting everything out. We're going to be going over there because the temperature's dropping, and we're going to be playing this set and recording it. Then I'm going to be editing. I'll come back and I'll give you guys an update and say, we went, this is what happened. You never know. We could go and there could be people there at the pavilion. We'll have to leave and find another location to play at for that day. It could be bad. The cops could show up. You never know what can happen on a remote. So send us good vibes. Be hopeful that we'll have this back, because we have 3 new songs that we've been working on. And that's really what I want to play. This stuff's a year old. And you guys haven't seen it. And it's just been kind of too crappy, too hot, It's like, we don't want to go and do a remote if we're going to be sweating the whole time, And it's gotten to be where, like, I don't know if it's global warming or what it is, but it's miserable here in Chicago. It's like living in Vietnam. It's so unbelievably humid here. And I hate to complain because I know it's probably like this everywhere. And is this global warming? Is this just a phase that the earth goes through where the climate adjusts itself? I don't know. I'm not here to debate that. I don't want to Greta Thunberg, you guys. I just want to say that my recollection of it was never like this when I was coming up. I was out all summer. It was nice. Yeah, it got hot, but it wasn't like miserable, And I don't so much prescribe that to the fact that back then I was a little kid and I didn't notice it. Maybe it is. Maybe when you're a kid, you're tough and that stuff, your face is all sweaty and you don't even think to wipe it off. But now, if I start pouring sweat on my face, like I need to stop that from happening. I need to go towel off, get a fan blowing on me with some AC and sit down. You know what I mean? I'm not down like I was when I was a kid, and I blame it on climate change. I think it has gotten way worse as far as the humidity levels here in Chicago. That's my take on it. So I'm super excited to go out. I've got a burn on my thumb. I've got a razor cut on my index finger. It's unbelievably hot. Right now here, it's 81 degrees here in the apartment. 81 degrees. And like, it's supposed to be, today was the first really nice day. Like, this was supposed to be like, the temperature is going to plummet and it's going to be nice. And it's 81 here. So I'm going to turn my air conditioner on. I'm going to quit talking. I'm going to give my cats treats and get back to work. You guys, stay tuned here. You're going to want to see this guitar instrumental set. You're going to want to check this out. It's worth your time. It's like 35 minutes from start to finish. And I'm not sure how I'll edit it. I'll probably will break it up into individual pieces, individual songs, and upload it. Or will I do the whole set? I really won't know until I go through the editing process. So, thank you. Try to stay cool. Remember to hug your pets, and peace.